Well, hello everyone. Welcome back. I'm still here in Clifden. I'm just leaving now and I'm going to find the landing site of Alcock and Brown, the two men who first flew across the Atlantic in June 1919, right? So I'm after putting it into Google Maps and it's saying it's only 16 minutes away from here. So you're all welcome to join me as I go to find the landing site of the two lads. They crash landed out here in 1919. A long time ago, my friends. And do you know, speaking of 1919, do you know what airline is the oldest airline in the world? Probably some of you know. Anybody who doesn't know, it was KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines. They were formed in 1919. And for anyone who wants to know how old is Aer Lingus, they were formed in 1936. So anyway, let's go and find this landing site of Alcock and Brown, okay? Right people, I think I've made it to the landing site, or the crash landing site of Alcock and Brown. So let's go and find it, my friends. And as you can see, July, this is summertime in Ireland. Look, got my jacket on here because it's windy in the shower, right? But I'm not complaining because I got my super cool €10 little umbrella. Fantastic, my friends, fantastic. So here we go. Hello sheep. You just chilling out there, yeah? And rightly so, my friend, rightly so. Oh, this is a cool walk here. On a beautiful, warm, sunny July day, my friends. Now, it's not freezing cold, it's just when the showers come, it gets cold and the wind's coming off the Atlantic Ocean. Cause I can see the sea over here, well, the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. There's no protection the whole way across the Atlantic Ocean, like, you know what I mean? So when there's a westerly wind coming, we're the first to get it. Anyway, let's go and find this landing site, my friends. And also out here was the first ever transatlantic sent Morse code by Marconi, right? Giulio Marconi was only one of a number of engineers and innovators competing to successfully transmit Morse code wirelessly across the Atlantic. The first to succeed would earn a place in the history books, along with the chance to make a lot of money. Because of the potential value of Marconi's research, security at Derryglag was taken very seriously. You were standing at what was once the heavily guarded entrance to Marconi's wireless station. Here visitors had to present papers from the Marconi Company head office in London to be allowed to go any further. Later, during the First World War, British troops guarded the station from a series of blockhouses strategically placed around a 300-acre site. As well as controlling the flow of people, this was also the point at which goods entered the station. One of the first items to be constructed on the site was a railway to collect building materials from here and bring them across the bog. After the station had been built, the railway was used to transfer turf and staff around the site. So there you go, my friends. The first ever transatlantic Morse code was from here. Marconi. Would you like some turf for your car, for your house, people, would you? For the winter? I'll bring some home in the back of the boot if you want some now, you know. I'll just come over with the car, drive the car up and just load a whole boot full of turf now if you want some. You don't want any? Oh, okay, right. There's a big load of turf there, my friends. See, it's all bogland up along here. You know something, I'm after passing about 3 or 4 different groups of people there, right? It's amazing, different personalities and people, right? 2 of them I passed, I said hello, just walked by, didn't say hello back. One man just nodded his head, didn't say nothing. I said hello, he went. And a woman there hello, hello back. Not because they're foreigners or anything, just some people are strange, you know what I mean? You don't have to say hello, but I mean, hello is a nice thing to say, isn't it? They can't even say hello, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's go and find this landing site, my friends, okay? Look at all this turf, isn't it cool? Super cool, super cool. Hello, are you well? What are you doing down there? Are you enjoying yourself there, are you? And now don't worry, stay here, no, stay here, I won't come near you. Stay there and chill, you have the right idea. And you're protected from the wind as well. Fair play to you. That's what I say. Chill the F out, isn't that right? I'll see you later, bye. See you later. Are you well there, yeah? Excuse me, I'm just wondering, would you know the way to Amarillo? Did you ever hear of Amarillo? Oh, okay, so what are you saying, that way? Oh, that way, okay, thanks very much, right? Oh, it's fairly obliging, wasn't she? Just asked him the way to Amarillo. He says that way, which is kind of true, isn't it? Across the Atlantic Ocean. Is this the way to Amarillo? La 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 la. That there was once a condenser house there, right? And it was the important structure housed a transmitter during the life of the station. So this is now the Morse code, the wireless the best way to achieve long distance wireless telegraphy is to have a fairly large tall aerial to which you transfer power from a fairly high voltage electrical circuit. Such circuits consist of large coils of wire and condensers, capacitors and a power source to stimulate them. The condenser house was 350 feet long and 75 feet wide and 50 feet tall at its highest point. It consisted of a central concrete core over 3 floors, the foundations of which you can still see, with a large wing on either side. The core contained a transmitting and receiving apparatus, while the 2 wings contained the giant steel plates that formed the condenser. The equipment in this building could operate at over 100,000 volts, making the condenser house a very dangerous place to work. The noise of the condenser house was immense. One reporter described how, during transmission, the connection room boomed and flashed thunder and lightning. To minimise interference to the receivers, a receiving house was built far away from the condenser house in 1909. A second Marconi station at Letterfrack, 9.5 miles away, was built in 1913. So basically speaking, this is where Marconi sent the Morse code across to America, was from here. It's amazing, isn't it? And right beside it is the landing site of Alcock and Brown, the first men to cross the Atlantic by plane, you know. Amazing.
All I want in this whole life, a little red house in a country wife, a picnic table out on the lawn, a couple of kids and a couple of dogs. Work all day to 5:30, a chain link fence and a gravel drive, the wind chime ringing on my front porch, a brand new carpet on every floor, and a rope swing tied around a limb of a tall oak tree. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me.
So there's a picture inside that of the Marconi station. You see that? That's a black and white picture of the Marconi station, the Morse code station. First ever transatlantic Morse code, transaction took place here. Amazing, my friends, amazing.
Box and a fishing pole. I don't care about fortune or fame. I just don't want to know my mailman's name. At Christmas time, I'm gonna leave him a gingerbread cookie. It don't sound like much, but it sure is heaven to me.
So, this is the landing site of Alcock and Brown in June 1919. Imagine that. 1 year before my father was born. My father was born in 1920, and my dad married my mother when he was 39 and she was 25, and then he went on to have 10 children. So they were pretty good with the old hanky-panky, weren't they? Yeah, so there you go. It's an amazing feeling. First of all, I'm standing here on the site of the first ever transatlantic flight, okay? My dad didn't even exist for another year, and I didn't exist for years later. It's very hard to comprehend that, isn't it? Life, it's so strange, my friends. I'm so excited to be here. Just think, if you just trying to go back to that time in 1919, June 1919. Was it a cold day? Was it a lovely warm day? Yeah, so obviously they ran out of fuel or something and crash landed into the bog here. So yeah, so this is the site, people, of the landing of Alcock and Brown, June 1919. Fantastic. So delighted to have come here, my friends, because I'm just mad into aviation, I think the plane they flew was kind of a Vickers Vimy biplane. Like, it would have been a propeller plane, like, you know. And you have to remember, they had no like modern navigation or GPS or anything like that, like they do now on planes, you know what I mean? So it was an amazing achievement, my friends, an amazing achievement. So delighted to have seen it, I really am. Right, just going to sit here for a few minutes, people. I'm shading from the westerly winds coming off the Atlantic Ocean here, and I'm going to try and soak up and reimagine the day when Alcock and Brown flew in across the Atlantic Ocean and crash landed here, right here on this site, in June 1919. Long before I was born, my friends. It's some experience, isn't it? That this happened before I ever existed. It happened 1 year before my dad ever existed. And yet, here am I, sitting beside the crash site of two men that existed and made history years and years before I was ever born. Crazy stuff, my friends, crazy stuff to try and comprehend. Oh, this is just so cool, so cool. I can hear the wind gushing around me here, and I'm just nice and chilled and relaxed, the way people are supposed to be, my friends. Oh, this is just fantastic, fantastic. What's saying here on this plaque on the wall here, right, that this site was used by Marconi as the first commercial transatlantic wireless station between 1907 and 1922. Now, I don't think 1922 may have been the end of the Irish Civil War. So this plaque was unveiled, this plaque on the 28th of June 1995, to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the development of wireless by her father. That's the Italian name I can't pronounce, Marconi, right? So he was an Italian man, right? Right here, my friends, right here. This is fantastic, my friends, it's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Put it on your bucket list if you come to Ireland, my friends. The Connemara, N59, Clifden, and the landing spot of Alcock and Brown, and the first commercial transatlantic wireless transmission from here, from Marconi. Amazing. So this is saying the powerhouse for that Marconi transmitter, right? So the powerhouse by numbers, right? There was 6 steam boilers operating at 100 horsepower each. Vertical steam engines at 500 horsepower each. Alternators at 500 kW, 25 hertz units. DC dynamos of 5,000 volts. These were connected in a series of 3 with 1 spare, providing a total of 15,000 volts used to charge the battery in the condenser house. The transmission apparatus was run on DC power from 1909. Anyway, I don't understand those figures, but they just sound mega to me. I don't know if they sound mega to you, my friends, but they sound mega to me. Isn't this just fantastic, isn't it? Look, oh, here's more black and white pictures here of the so look, this is the place, look, this is the station, right? Right here, there's men, they're working in it. And the powerhouse, look at this. Wow. If it was left solely to me, people, we would still be in the Stone Age. We really would. But anyway, spectacular, spectacular. Yeah, so I think right here was the Marconi building. And these two leftover things here are alternator shafts, they're called. Right? From, what was I saying, the rotor of this machine weighed 10.5 tons. The other shaft was part of the original 500 kilowatt alternator installed in 1907. The rotor of this alternator weighed 7.5 tons. The machines were manufactured by the electric construction company Wolverhampton and London. They operated at 1000 volts, 500 amps. The frequency was 25 hertz. Each machine was driven by a directly coupled vertical steam engine. I don't understand all that technical jargon, but I just know that it was groundbreaking stuff, my friends, groundbreaking stuff. So these were, there was workmen's cottages here. There were 6 semi-detached 2-storey cottages were provided for the station's skilled workmen. The families of many of these workmen moved into these houses after their completion in 1911. Can you hear the noise of the wind going through these little kind of steel lads here? God, you're nice and cool, aren't you? Aren't you nice and chilled there, relaxed? Shading from that mad wind off the Atlantic Ocean. You have it sussed, haven't you? Well done to you. So this is the remains of one of 3 called blockhouses built by British troops stationed here to protect Marconi Station during the First World War. They were built at locations that offered commanding views of the surrounding landscape. So remember, during the First World War, Ireland was still under the control of the British, you know what I mean? So there you go. Does anybody know anything about wavelengths? Because I don't. So I don't know what that there represents. It's not like a dish or anything like that, but anyway, so it's in Irish and it's in English, but it's saying the wavelengths at Clifden. So blah blah blah. Clifden Station was originally licensed in 1907 to use a wavelength of 2,750 metres, 109 kHz. However, this wave proved to be too short for practical use. By 1909, both Clifden and its sister station in Glace Bay were using 2 wavelengths, 4,481 metres, 67 kHz, and 3,810 metres, 79 kHz. At this point, only simplex transmission was possible, meaning that only one station could send and the other only receive signals at any given time. Duplex working began in 1913 with the opening of the Letterfreck and Louisbourg, Nova Scotia stations. Clifden was sending at 5,500 metres, 55 kHz, and Letterfreck was simultaneously receiving from Glace Bay on 8,000 metres, blah blah blah. In 1922, when the Clifden station closed, it was sending only on 5,780 metres. By this stage, it was using a valve transmitter generating continuous wave signals. Now, do you understand all that, my friends? Because I don't. All I know, it was progress, wasn't it? Amazing progress, actually. Look at all the turf just left out there to dry, look. Thousands and thousands and thousands of pieces of turf. Amazing, isn't it? This is all like turf, like bogland here, you know. I wonder if this Marconi here fishing, look. Ah, there's the man, look, that's him. So that's Marconi, the guy that invented, this is the Morse code, or what did he say, the first commercial Morse code transmissions ever in the world, or transatlantic. That's the picture of him there, Marconi. Look at the vastness of this, my friends, look. Unreal, isn't it? Turf, 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 and more turf. So anyway, look, this is the plane crash landed in the bog here. I think it was a Vickers Vimy. I could be wrong on that though. Just an ordinary propeller plane, right? And look, they done it in 16. Look, here it is here. Look, Alcock and Brown flew from Newfoundland to Ireland in just under 16.5 hours, landing in Derrygimla on the morning of the 15th of June 1919. They won the London Daily Mail sponsored race to make the first non-stop transatlantic flight in less than 72 consecutive hours. They claimed a prize of £10,000, which is, I presume, would have been a lot of money back then. And this was the front page of the Daily Mirror, okay? On Monday, June the 16th, 1919. So look, How I Flew the Atlantic by Captain Alcock, the Daily Mirror, Britain's magnificent Atlantic air triumph. There they are there. There's the plane. Yeah, the Vickers Vimy machine on which the flight was accomplished. The Vickers Vimy. So they flew, the shortest route from St. John's to Valencia was 1,880 miles, and they arrived on a Sunday at 9:40 a.m, so 20 to 10 in the morning. And that's the black and white picture of the Marconi Morse code station. You see it there, look. And obviously, maybe all this turf was to feed the station. I don't know. Little train there, look, with little... It must have been to feed the station, was it? The powerhouse with turf stacks and railway engine prior to the opening of the station on the 17th of October 1907. No, this is mad, like, because the Irish-Italian engineer and innovator, I can't pronounce that properly, Guglielmo Marconi, 1874 to 1937. Although Marconi was born and raised in Italy, his mother, Annie Jameson, was Irish. She was a member of the famous Jameson whiskey family. Her father and uncles owned the Jameson whiskey distillers in Dublin and Wexford. So basically, we're going to claim him as Irish, huh? Why not? I love this kind of painting here of the two boys. Look, Alcock and Brown, and the station, right, the Marconi station, and a depiction of the crash landing of the plane in the bog. Very, very good, my friends. Very, very good. Really enjoyed that, I have to say. Really enjoyed it. Because I'm a big, massive aviation buff, I have to say. I love aviation. Love it. Right, people, so that's it from Clifden out to the famous landing site of Alcock and Brown from 1919, and the Marconi Morse code transmission, first commercial transmission in the world, maybe, across the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, because I certainly did. And once again, beautiful surroundings over here, fantastic landscape. Yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed that. So stay tuned, my friends, for the next video. It should be up next Sunday after 5 p.m. and stay tuned for the pictures. I'll put some pictures up at the end of the video, okay? So take care, and for my next adventure in Connemara, tune in next Sunday. Press the notification bells to know when the video will be up, and if you're new to the channel, please press the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye.